Good morning. Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City. Proceedings will begin. If you are in possession of any type of electronic device, we ask that you place that electronic device on the quiet or silent mode during proceedings. And please refrain from conversation during proceedings, as the microphone system is very sensitive and will pick up and detect any and all conversation. Acting as chairman today would be Commissioner Aaron Greenfield in the absence of Albert Matriciani. I call the very first case on the docket, Mr. Chairman, Tybalt Mankin, 29th Street LLC, trade name pending, 220 West 27th Street. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. An application to transfer ownership and location of the Class A BWL license, presently located at 401 West 29th Street to 220 West 27th Street. Please come forward and raise your right hand.
If you could raise your right hand and repeat after the gentleman to the far left of me says his spiel, and speak very loudly and clearly in the mic, if you wouldn't mind.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Before we begin, I want to welcome Commissioner Harvey Jones, who's joined us, a man of considerable experience, and we're thrilled and fortunate to have him sit today. Counsel.
Good morning. Caroline Hecker, Rosenberg, Martin Greenberg, on behalf of the applicant. I'm joined by my colleague, Mr. Williams, as well as the licensee applicant, Thibaut Manikin, and Liz Veda, who will be responsible for the day-to-day operations of the license. Mr. Williams has handed up a file folder full of exhibits that we're going to walk through this morning. With your permission, I'd like to have them marked and admitted as applicants one collectively.
Absolutely. If you could, Ms. Hecker, provide this to Ms. Russell so she can mark it as an exhibit.
Absolutely. There are photocopies of this, excuse me, Liz, within the folders, but those are the original signatures on the petition. And with your permission, I'd like to proceed by way of a proffer. I don't see anyone here in opposition to this.
Yes.
As you know, this is an application to transfer the license. This is the old Sterling's Crab House liquor license. It was at 401 West 29th Street. They closed down last summer. Mr. Manikin, through an affiliate entity, purchased the property with the liquor license. And they put a new tenant in there, but the new tenant didn't have any need for the license, so we've been looking to try to find a new operation that could use this Class A license. The board approved a hardship extension of the license in January, and we filed this transfer application on July 1st. The new license premises is, as I said, 220 West 27th Street. It's across the way from the new Remington Row development, the new R sign that's up on at the corner of Cresmont and West 27th Street. There's an aerial photo in the package that I've handed up that shows the location of the license. Now, the license premises is going to be operated as B Willow, which is a plant and floral design shop that specializes in providing unique planters and terrariums using repurposed materials. There's some examples of their work product in there in the file that we've handed up as well. And they currently do not have a bricks and mortar location. They've been operating as a pop-up shop since 2014. This will be their first actual store. They were voted the best pop-up shop by Baltimore Magazine in 2015, and there's an excerpt from the Baltimore Magazine article on that in the file as well. They really are proposing to sell alcoholic beverages as an accessory to their operation. As I said, they're primarily like a gift shop, a floral plant design shop, and they'd like to be able to sell alcoholic beverages sort of as an amenity to that operation. If somebody was buying a plant as a gift, they may want to add a nice bottle of something to go along with that. So the floor plan shows where the alcoholic beverage display area will be located. It is relatively small, very small really, compared to the rest of the site. It really will be an accessory operation there, but packaged goods stores like florists and gift shops are all permitted uses within the B3 zoning district. We have met extensively with the Community Association on this. The board should have received separately a letter from the Greater Remington Improvement Association. I've also included a copy of that in the file, and we've also handed up copies of petitions that show the support of 30 residents who live in the immediate vicinity of the site. With regard to the standards that the board is required to consider in approving the transfer of the license, there is a public need and desire for the license as demonstrated by the letter of support and the petitions in support of the application. With regard to the number and location of existing licensees, there really are no other Class A licenses located in the vicinity of this site, and we don't expect this to have any impact whatsoever on other licensees. I think there are a handful of B licenses in the area, but this would really have a de minimis impact on them. With regard to the potential commonality or uniqueness of services, as as I said, I'm not aware of any other sort of florist gift shops that have alcoholic beverages licenses. This really is a unique concept, and the sale of alcoholic beverages here really is intended to be accessory to their principal use. With regard to the impact on general health, safety, and welfare, we are not expecting there to be any adverse impact whatsoever. The proposed hours of operation would be roughly 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 or 8 in the evening. They're not planning to be open late at night. And again, the community is supportive of this proposal. I do want to point out just one thing. They are close to, but not within 300 feet of a church nearby. So there is a statute that prohibits the transfer of a license within 300 feet of a church or a school. There's a map in the file that shows that it's about 315 feet from the Church of the Guardian Angel that's at 2629 Huntington Avenue. So with that, we would request that the board approve the transfer of the license, and we're certainly able to answer any questions that you may have.
Ms. Veda, what experience do you have in operating an establishment like this? Not the floral part, I trust you have experience with that, but with
Sure.
respect to the alcohol.
And can you step up
Yeah.
and speak?
Yeah,
into the
Speak
definitely.
loudly, please.
I've had a lot of experience working in the restaurant industry, so I've definitely been around sale of liquor and alcoholic beverages in a commercial sense. But as far as operating or working in a liquor store, no direct experience in that respect. But I think having been exposed to sales of liquor and having to card people in the past, that sort of thing, I do feel qualified and capable to do so.
And Ms. Veda, you've reviewed the rules and regulations of the Baltimore City Liquor Board?
Yes. Yep. Definitely.
Have you had an opportunity to do alcohol awareness training?
She has not yet, I believe, but will as a part of this application.
Okay, and you'll understand that with whom you have to purchase the alcohol from.
Yes. Definitely.
Do the other commissioners have any questions?
Just one comment. If your experience level increase with that training, knowing the neighborhood, this is a well-informed neighborhood, and they're not here, so I'm assuming that they must think you can do the job, so I'm in favor.
I have a question. What's going on at 220 West 27th Street now?
The building is vacant and it's in the process of being renovated for the new use.
Okay, and it's on a what appears to be a residential block. It's the end unit of a row of homes. Is that a residential block?
I believe there are residential uses on that block, but the property is actually zoned B32.
Okay. Are those homes occupied by individuals, or are those businesses on that block? I mean, the zoning aside, what's actually happening on that block in terms of residences, families, individuals? Anyone can testify about that?
I believe they're all residences. Mr. Manikin, I know, is very familiar with the neighborhood. Perhaps you can add some color.
Yes, to the east are residential homes, and on the, I guess, west-facing facade are businesses. So it was an old corner store traditionally. It's always been a business there, and we're proposing to continue its use as a business, which really mirrors. You don't really see the new building that was built there across the street, but there's a whole bunch of retail on the one side.
I go by it every day.
But the idea was to
I've
really
seen it.
create along that triangle a bunch of business uses.
Yeah. So my younger daughter thinks that everything that's going on in that stretch is just beyond fabulous, and likes to drive by it and see the progress. My only concern is my bias, and I share it, and it's not a secret, is that we not have liquor establishments in residential areas. So the thought to me in looking at this is bringing in a license where there is no liquor license into an area that's residential, and this is clearly mixed use business and residential, is one where I think we really have to take pause and make sure what we're doing. So.
I can respond
Thank you.
to that on two fronts. One, I think the fact that the community overwhelmingly supports this is indicative of the fact that they don't see this as a problem establishment, even though it is going to be located next to other residential homes. And also, I would say that this is not your traditional packaged goods store. It really, in terms of transferring a license to a new user, it could have been a traditional liquor store where that was all they sold, where they would be open late at night. And that, I would agree with you, would probably be less compatible with the adjacent residential homes. But this, in this case, the alcoholic beverage sale operation really is very accessory to the principal use as a gift shop and a florist. And I think those really, that's what it's going to look like to passersby. I think, you know, when you come in, you'll see that there are alcoholic beverages on display to be sold in connection with the products that they're offering, but they're not planning to advertise on the exterior of the building that they sell alcoholic beverages. As I said, they're going to be closing up probably around 6 or 8 in the evening, so they won't be open late at night. You know, it's not going to appear to be your traditional packaged goods store.
Okay, I mean, that's helpful. I guess the other question I have is if we approve the transfer to this location, which, what is the long-term plan? Is there a plan to someday be something really different? Is there, I mean, once we transfer the license to that location, you know, if you decide that you want to do something bigger with alcohol, obviously you'd have to come back and it would be a different story. But as you stand here today, is there any such plan?
No, not to expand it or to do a larger, more focused on liquor operation by any means.
And I can also add that
Okay.
the lease limits the amount of alcohol that they can sell there. It really is it's structured in a way that it is intended to be an accessory operation so that it does not morph into a liquor store.
And who is the property owner?
The property owner is, I believe it's 227 West 27th LLC.
Okay, all right, so that gets back to you, doesn't it? And you're the actual licensee. So the main question when you're talking about transferring a license from one person to another person is to get some information about the qualifications and background of the new licensee. I know a lot about you because of your dad and the work that you've done in Charles Village. And for the record, you know, back when I was the president of the Charles Village Civic Association, we had a lot of interaction with one of your first projects that went on to win lots of awards. No bragging there. But could you just give us a little bit about your background and why you feel you are someone that should have a liquor license?
Yes, and thank you for your help and support with that Miller's Court project back in
It
the
was
day.
a wonderful project.
We've done a really good job of listening to what the neighborhood of Remington and Charles Village want to have happen there. If anything, we see ourselves as an extension of them. Everything that we've done has been their idea, and we've just been kind of helpful along the way. In the process, we have become landlords for and owners of several liquor licenses for different establishments, parts and labor. The new Our House project, which is a food hall, which I don't have the liquor license for, but a colleague of mine does. So we take this very serious. We're neighbors and not guests in the communities that we go into. We have no desire to put a full-fledged liquor store on this little corner here, but we're honored that B. Willow is gonna, and really excited for Liz for the growth of her company and to give her actual bricks and mortar. But we don't take this responsibility lightly at all, and feel very qualified to be the owner of the license.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So I note, Mr. Manikin, that you've had an establishment previously that had some issues with this license, if I read the notes correctly, that's no longer in business.
The Sterling's, when it was under Sterling's?
Yeah.
Or- Yeah, Mr. Manikin had no relationship with the license at that time.
But did you own the license at the time?
No.
No.
No, he bought it last summer when the property went up for auction. He purchased
Okay,
the license
all right,
at that
fair
time.
enough. Let me clear that up. So there are notes that reflect, I think it was 2016. February 11th, 2016, went out of business, and some notes of,
I'm not sure that that's accurate.
is that not accurate?
Sterling's closed on July 8th, 2015. That was when they were last in operation, and Sterling's went out of business at that time. A new tenant moved into that building, but they have not been operating with a liquor license.
Okay. All right, we will go back and check that then, because our notes suggest otherwise, but we'll go back and check that, and we'll clear it up with you. Any other questions? No. Okay. At this time, I would vote to approve this transfer as not hearing, or hearing from the community in support of it. I do think it's incredibly, an incredibly interesting concept, and I personally appreciate the investment on your part and yours, Mr. Manikin. and the fact that it is a unique service, it's an accessory to the floral business, I would vote to approve.
Based on the information that we have in front of us, this license was last used February 11, 2016. There was there was a hearing on January 20. Do we have this right? That there was a hearing
There's a hearing.
January 28,
That's correct.
2016, requesting a hardship extension. The location went out of operation and business February 11, 2016. There was an application to transfer the license July 14, 2016. That was a timely license, a timely application to transfer.
I have July 1st in my notes.
I have July 1.
Does appear to be a contract purchaser.
So there was there was a contract purchase. The point being that, based on the information that's in front of us, this is a license that is in operation. It is alive. It is eligible to be transferred. That is the first question, I think. And based on our information that's in front of us, it is eligible to be transferred. So there's that first question. The second is the qualifications of the persons to whom it's being transferred. I'm totally convinced at the qualifications of the transferee, but I'm most impressed by the community support, because this is, as Commissioner Jones said, a very active, aware, alert, involved, speak up community. And if there were any issues with respect to where this license was being transferred, we would have heard about it. They would have come here, they would have spoken up. So the fact that there is community support encourages me to say yes to the transfer, and I do say yes to the transfer.
I concur also.
Thank you. We're going to make the exhibits part of the record. Yes, Mr. Page?
Mr. Chairman, if I could make some, Mr. Manikin purchased the license as a contract purchaser located at 401 West 29th Street prior to filing the application to transfer to a different location. That's why his name currently appears at the address of 401 West
okay.
29th Street.
Okay, thank you for
Answers
clearing
the
that up.
question. Thank you.
And so it's approved, and the exhibits, Ms. Russell, would you like to?
Sure. Applicants Exhibit 1, received collectively, aerial photos, examples of floor designs, Baltimore Magazine excerpt, floor plan, rear support letter, petition of support, and aerial map.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck, thanks.
All right, congratulations.
Number 2 on the AM docket, Sewall Lee and Darline Williams, Sewall Lighthouse Company, Inc., trading as Club Bar, 1609 Lawrence Street. This is the Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Good morning. Good morning. If you could raise your right hand and state your name, and then respond to the gentleman to my far left.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Can you please state your name?
Darlene Williams.
Could you speak
need
into
to
the
s- yeah.
microphone?
Oh, okay. Darlene Williams. Suhali.
You got it? All right. All right, we are here on an application to transfer ownership.
Yes, Commissioner. First of all, for the record, good morning. J.U. representing the applicant, Mrs. Sua Lee and Mrs. Darlene Williams. If I may proceed by way of proffer, this is a request for transfer of LBD7 bar license located at 1609 Lawrence Street. Mrs. Lee will be the 99% shareholder and primary applicant, and Mrs. Williams will be the 1% shareholder and a resident agent licensee. As I'm sure you have reviewed the record, Mrs. Williams does qualify as a resident agent, as she is a longtime Baltimore City resident, a registered voter, and a property owner. And she does not have any criminal records, no shares traffic records, and she is of a person of a good moral character. Mrs. Lee also is of a person of good moral character, and she has no prior criminal history or arrest or any serious traffic offenses. She will be the full-time manager, operator, and the owner of the business. If I may offer into evidence collectively as Exhibit 1 is a alcohol awareness training that she completed on September 24th.
If you could hand that to Ms. Russell, to my right, please.
Thank you, received.
Furthermore, she has began her training at the store beginning, July 29th, to make sure that she understands the full operation of the business and what it takes to run a bar. So I believe even though she has no prior experience, she has gained a 4 month, almost a 4 month of experience running and operating the business. Mrs. Darlene Williams has been given a copy of the rules and regulations for the Baltimore City Liquor Board, and she has reviewed them, and she does understand that as a resident agent licensee, she has duty to monitor the business to make sure that all the rules and regulations of the liquor board and other state rules and regulations are being abided by, and that she, when called upon by the board, she has to come before the board. Mrs. Lee also understands that, and Mrs. Lee decided to take over this business because she saw a great opportunity to enter into this business. And this business has one full-time employee and 2 part-time employees. If the business picks up, she has plans to have additional employees. Her husband and she is currently, her husband will be helping her out part-time once the business, the transfer is approved. Also, she fully understands what it takes to run a business, including that she has to purchase all the beers and wine and liquor from the approved wholesalers, Churchill and Reliable, and national distributors. And she does have had taken the course, and she fully understands that what IDs are acceptable and not, what it is not. And she has a clear policy from the previous owner that anyone under 40 who looks under 40, she has to card, at least until she's personally familiar with the patrons, that they're old enough. But then again, that location is a neighborhood bar, and many of the patrons are very fond of the place, and she has collected petitions from the patrons and the local neighbors who are in support of the transfer.
You could hand that to Ms. Russell.
And this is a very respectful bar where actually the bar business is almost 70-75%, and the packaged good only comprises about 25-30%. Most of the patrons are over 50. They're respectable gentlemen and ladies who patronize this place, and this has been a bar for a long time, and they love this place. And I actually personally visited the place twice, and it's a very nice, quiet place where the neighbors really enjoy, coming together and socializing. Also, she has hired somebody in the neighborhood to clean the area twice a day to make sure that it's clean and neat in the area. And also, I made an attempt to contact the Sandtown Winchester Improvement Association, but I was not successful, so I'm continuing to try. And if I'm not able to make contact with this community association, I'm planning on contacting Sandtown Winchester Community Association. I think there's one more. So I'm actually working on that. But to my understanding, there has not been any opposition. And this is the letter I wrote to the Improvement Association.
Ms. Russell, thank you.
So Mrs. Lee will be attending a meeting the next month for either one of those 2 community associations to establish a relationship with the community and, to address any concerns that the community may have. As far as the the public needs and desire through a petition, I believe there's a ample proof that the community actually loves this bar. This is some place where people gather and socialize and enjoy. And many of the patrons have expressed their the need for the place. And also, I don't believe there's any going to be any negative effect on any other licensees in the area. To my understanding, I think there's a 4x4 area block. There's no other establishment. And also, as far as the uniqueness is concerned, this is a very unique bar to the community because it's been there for a long time, and the neighbors love the place, and this is one-of-a-kind place where they come to enjoy their time. And as far as the impact on the general health and the welfare of the community, I think there's a minimal impact. Patrons love this place. Most of the patrons are senior citizens, age over and 50. They're very respectful, calm, and it's not a rowdy crowd or anything like that. And also, there's ample street parking on the area. But then again, most of the patrons usually walk to the place. So I don't think there's any issue with that. Thank you.
Thank you. A couple questions, if I could. So this is a transfer from, the seller is Miss Nam, do I have that right?
Kim, I believe.
Okay, Miss Kim, I'm sorry, I don't have that right. To Miss Lee and Miss Williams. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Lee, I appreciate the fact that you've taken alcohol awareness. Are you aware that the previous licensee was found in violation of selling to a minor a few years ago?
I don't think she knows about
Okay,
that.
so that did occur, but not, obviously not on your watch, but on the current owner's watch, and that's something we take very, very seriously, sales to a minor. So I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that, and I appreciate the fact that you will make sure you card, anyone over, anyone under 40, or, okay, so thank you for that. If I could, I do appreciate your efforts with the community and the petition in support that you've submitted. However, we do have a letter in opposition, which I'll share with you. And if there's anyone here who would like to speak to it, we certainly welcome you. But my sense is that that the understanding of this is from Sandtown Winchester Improvement Association. It's right here. You can look at that. Is that my understanding of the letter is that they believe that there will be another licensee transferred over and above this license. But if you could take a look at that and respond, that would be helpful.
It's pretty strong letter from the community. I did write a letter to Mr. Harris, and I did not get any response, which kind of surprised to me that a copy was not forwarded to me. Caught me by surprise. Yeah, I did call Mr. Harris, and did not leave him a message, but called him a couple times, but no one picked up the phone.
But just so we're clear that this establishment will remain. This is the application before us is not an additional establishment. This is for the existing establishment.
Yes, sir. Mrs. Lee will get in touch with Mr. Harris and do her best to work with the community. And to my understanding and to Mrs. Lee's understanding, this is not a typical bar where they're actually doing the packaged goods. This is a bar where patrons, who are mostly senior citizens, they actually come every evening and enjoy the place. They socialize and gather and listen to music. And this is actually a nice place. I actually visited twice, one on the Friday afternoon. So I do understand the community's concern, but this is not exactly a type of a liquor establishment where it's really plagued the community. This is actually more of a neighborhood bar where respectful senior citizens come to enjoy. And as the petition indicates, a lot of the patrons love this place and they want this place to be kept open. Mrs. Kim, she is not well, and that's why she's disposing of the business. And also this bar is creating jobs for the community. She has one full-time employee and 2 part-time employees, all of them who will be undergoing alcohol awareness training. I think one of them has it, but the part-times don't. So she'll make sure that they undergo alcohol awareness training. And if, I do understand Mr. Harris's point, but I don't think this bar really is contributing to any of the crimes or gang activities. I think this is a one-of-kind bar in the neighborhood.
Great. Commissioner Moore, do you have any questions?
I do. Ms. Lee, you're going to be the 99% owner. I just want to be very clear. Have you received a copy of the rules and regulations of the Baltimore City Board of Liquor License Commissioners?
Yes, I did provide Mrs. Lee.
Can I just stop right now?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to understand? Do you understand what I'm
Yes,
asking
yes,
you? Then
yes,
I need
yeah.
you to answer.
Yes,
Have you been provided a copy of the rules and regulations
yes,
of the Baltimore City Board of Liquor License Commissioners?
Yes.
And have you read those rules?
yes.
And how often do you intend to be at this location?
How often?
How often?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
How frequently will you be at the location?
At the location, all over times.
All the time?
Yes.
You'll be there every day that it's
Yes,
open?
I'm working over times.
And
yeah,
are
full
y-
times, yes.
You'll be present and you will be
Yes.
managing the
Yes.
employees? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm staying upstairs. Yeah, we have rooms upstairs. I'm staying there too.
And does that mean you'll be living upstairs?
Not living upstairs, but I have upstairs too. So
So there's lodging above the restaurant?
just don't know rest area. So I just
A rest area,
yes, I should
okay.
come down.
So you'll be the hands-on, in the place manager?
Yes, fully yes.
Okay. Now, I noticed on the petition that some people signed the petition twice, so they really do love this place. I mean, if they're signing the petition twice, you're aware that some of people
Yes,
signed
they
twice.
are all old. I just went 3 months ago. They're all. I was really afraid of that kind of business before I went there. But when I went there to buy, decided because the old people they are very nice. So I was very comfortable.
Okay.
That's why I'm taking over.
So on an application to transfer a license, and if I'm understanding, this is a location that's in business, they've been in business, they're operating. We're not even considering bringing in yet another liquor establishment into the neighborhood. That is the situation, correct?
Yes.
So the question is, really the focus is on you, and you, Ms. Williams. What are your qualifications to run a bar and restaurant?
That's. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
What
hear
is your
that.
experience in
My
the,
experience is I have a
business.
business owner. I have several business in the Baltimore City. I have a business for the 25th and Green Mountain. I have the restaurant for the Banana House, and then I have for the market 25th.
what business do you have at 25th and Greenmount?
I have the carry-out restaurant business there.
And what is the name of it?
The Banana House.
The what?
Banana House.
The Banana House?
Yes. Yeah, it was.
At 25th and Greenmount?
Yes, I just built last year. So I just opened April last year. So,
The Banana House,
yes.
25th and Greenmount?
Yes.
Is it in operation?
Yes, of course, yeah. So I'm the management over there.
So what do you sell? What do you sell there?
I have American regular foods, and then I have a market to the 25th, the market over there, groceries. Then I have a wireless for the phone store there. So I have a management.
All at the Banana House.
They are on the street. I just they was all vacant. I just
So at 25th and Greenmount, you purchased a number of businesses and you've converted them.
yeah, I just bought the building from the city that was the destroyed. I just bought the rebuilt and then I did that.
So you have a market at 25th and Greenmount?
Yes, ma'am.
And what else? A cell phone store?
Yes, I learned STEM Boost and what Metro PCS.
Okay,
Yes.
Metro PCS.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for all of these businesses, though, this is the first time you've been in the liquor business.
Yes, there's a liquor business is the first time.
So how will you manage this business, this new business, and these other 3 businesses?
That business in Greenmount, I have a manager there. So I just they learned. I just training them, and then I just moved on another business for another experience for
Okay.
my life. Yes.
And Ms. Williams, what experience do you have in the liquor business?
I have no experience in it, but I have been around.
And speak up. And
Oh, okay. I have no experience in it, but I have been around a lot of places that do sell liquor and stuff like that.
what does that mean? I mean, I go to places that sell liquor too, but
No, but I've seen how they sell the liquor and how they do the liquor and how they mix the drinks and all that. And
I'll let you follow up. Okay.
I don't really know what to say because it's the first time I
Because
did
it's
it.
obvious that you don't have any experience whatsoever.
No, I don't
And
have
that- and
any
that's-
experience, but
yeah.
I've been around a lot of places that
Yeah.
sold liquor and stuff
Okay.
like
Now,
that.
let me just ask you this. You're familiar with the alcohol awareness, and
Yes,
you
I
will take
am.
that course
Yes,
and master it, right?
right.
Okay.
Just one quick comment. Based on the letter that's before you, it indicates that the community has a pretty bad opinion about the prior owner. So what I think you might need to keep in the forefront of your mind is how will you separate yourself from the prior owner? How will you establish your relationship with the current, with the community, showing them that you can be a good neighbor?
I have one the experience for about 2 months. The one of the customer, he want to buy that business from the Miss Kim, and then he doesn't have enough finance, and then he keep complaining about what we doing there, and then he complain about the community. So that's what I know only. But most of them, they are very happy, and then they are really quiet to the bar there, and then the DJ was there, and then they are really happy, very quiet. I never seen the Baltimore City. I was in Baltimore City in about 15 years here, and then my business experience. But usually I was really sometimes very afraid for business learning. But and then I really wasn't think about the liquor store. Liquor store was a very tough business, what I thought. But when I went there, they was very quiet and nice. And then people was, I really surprised that there was a quiet kind of place was there. And then most of the people come there, they are very happy. And then they listen music and relax. And the one time the Miss Kim, he was for stress for the business. She tried to changing for the store for the groceries, but the whole community people was denied, and then she couldn't change it. That was the point I can say on it. But there was very.
But hear me clearly.
It's not clear.
Your point is clear.
Yeah.
But my point to you
Yes.
is that you need to reach out to the leaders in that community and show them, you don't need to tell us now,
Yes.
because that's words. We're looking for you to live like the words that you speak to us. We want you to reach out to the community and let them understand that you will be a good neighbor.
Yes.
That's
I
the
will.
only way to take away the negatives and create something new that can be improved upon.
Yes, I will. So.
Ms. Lee,
Yes.
I think all of us believe that it's absolutely critical that you engage the community constantly. You're an important part of the community, and as Commissioner Jones has, I think, cited very, very well, they seem to not have a great perspective or perception of the current owner. I can't encourage you enough to meet with the community, attend their community meetings, and in fact, perhaps even enter into a memorandum of understanding with the community so that these issues can be addressed going forward.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
I'll make sure.
So with that, do you have any other questions?
Is there anybody here from Sandtown Winchester Improvement Association? There's no one here in the room from the organization? Okay.
Okay, so I would approve this transfer, but let me make it clear, this is not transfer of a new establishment. This is a transfer of ownership of the existing license for the following reasons. It is an existing establishment that seems to be successful. There's, as I cited earlier, there's only been there's been a violation under the previous owner. Ms. Lee has agreed to engage the community, which is important, has hired someone locally to work with the community and clean up the area, and and continue to engage the community. As I keep repeating, I can't say it strongly enough. And for those reasons, I would approve it, and we hope to not see you back on any violation. Commissioner Moore?
I concur. I don't think there's any issue with respect to whom the license is being transferred. You seem to have a good amount of business savvy, and I think it's that business savvy that will drive you to do exactly what Commissioner Greenfield has suggested, which is to engage in the community. When we get letters like we have from the Sandtown Winchester Improvement Association, we take it really seriously. It's a signal of problems in the past, but it's also your roadmap to doing better. So understanding that and having vetted you and your qualifications and background, blah, 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 I support the transfer.
I concur also.
We will include the exhibits in the record. Ms. Russell?
Yes, Board Exhibit 1 will be email of opposition from Sandtown Winchester Community Association, and the applicant's exhibits were received collectively. Alcohol awareness certificate, petition of support, letter of, to community association from applicant's lawyer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Commissioners.
luck.
All right, best of luck. We need to see
can see
you.
him, Mr. Chair.
The commission's going to take a 10-minute break. The next case up will be 2301 West Baltimore Street.
Let's go out of order. I'm going to run to the restroom and I'll be right back, okay? Very quickly. I guess that's on here.
Mr. Chairman, call the case of Veronica McDowell, Club International LLC, trading as Club International, 2301 West Baltimore Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Request for hardship extension under the provisions of Alcoholic Beverage Article 12-2202. Please come forward.
Good afternoon. If you could raise your right hand and state your name after the gentleman to my far left gives you the oath.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
We have one other gentleman coming. And if you could speak clearly into the microphone and state your name, I'd appreciate that.
So we can hear your name too, sir. Make sure we can hear
We
you.
just swear these two in again.
Yeah, let's, ma'am, if you could also raise your right hand and Delegate Oaks.
Yes. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Will do.
And you're Miss McDowell. Can we just go down the line, get your name real quick?
Windsor McDowell.
Windsor?
Yes.
Virginia.
Virginia.
And you, sir?
Nathaniel Oaks, Baltimore City delegate.
How do you spell your last name?
OAKS.
And ma'am?
Dr. Louise Jones Johnson, Baltimore City.
Most importantly, myself, Abraham Hurdle, attorney for Club International and 2301 West Baltimore Street, the location in question.
Most importantly?
Veronica McDowell.
With me is Veronica McDowell, who is the current licensee listed on the license at the moment, and her son, Windsor McDowell Jr. If I can give some quick background just to kind of get them up to speed, this is a little bit of a complicated process. In the end of April 2015, For a variety of reasons, Club International closed its doors temporarily. That was the goal, for only to be temporary. They sustained significant damage due to the civil unrest at the time, as well as the licensee at the time, Windsor McDowell Sr., suffering through increasingly severe health problems. In September, we filed a hardship request because due to lack of insurance and a variety of other issues, the club was not able to reopen. Unfortunately, before we could have that hearing, Windsor Sr. Suffered severe health problems, ultimately leading to his untimely death in February. In 2016, we renewed the license under various provisions and transferred it to Veronica at the renewal time, as she's a surviving spouse. And also during this long and lengthy process, one of the beneficiaries of the estate of Windsor McDowell Sr., Windsor McDowell Jr., went through a bankruptcy proceeding, which is a further complication in this matter. Beyond those things, I do have some documents, but I would like to pass forward a couple of different things. I do have some petitions that were signed by local residents.
You could give
If I
those
may?
to Ms. Russell.
Excuse me. You can mark that as, I guess, Exhibit 1? Yes. And I do have a letter from Delegate Oaks as well. I also have the Orphans Court order. You can mark that as Exhibit 3. I have extras of that. The sales and use tax filings, January through April of 2015. That's 4? And as number 5, I have a letter from the bankruptcy trustee. What we're hoping to do today is get a hardship extension so that we can reopen the club, either transfer the license from Veronica to another family member, or have it reopen under Veronica's name in the next 180 days. We do need the time based on the extenuating circumstances from the damage. I can have someone testify to it. As my understanding, the door was, it's a steel door, peeled open, and everything in the club was more or less removed from the location. The zoning does permit a tavern in this use. There's a good chance we do have to go to the zoning board because the live entertainment is conditional, and depending on how the use is viewed since the club closed, we may have to go to another hearing for that.
Ms. Johnson, Delegate Oaks, Dr. Johnson, Delegate Oaks, would
Well, I was up here more for character reference and to indicate that in my long career in the legislature, this club happened to be in my district at one point. And as the population shrunk, my district shrunk, and I lost some good clientele. So I was just here testifying in behalf of the character of the folk who's now seeking the release from you all. That's what my purpose is. I have a letter on record, but I wasn't sure if the letter was going to get here in time, and because I made a commitment, and those that know you know me know that if I make a commitment, I'm going to stick to it. So I'm here. I do appreciate the order in which it was taken, even at the detriment of some folk. I do appreciate it because I do have to leave. Thanks for allowing me to testify. If there's any questions you all collectively want to ask me, now's the time. And other than that, I'm going to be out the door.
Thank you, Delegate Oaks. I have no questions for Delegate Oaks.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Appreciate
coming.
it.
Appreciate it.
Nice seeing all you all in your new role.
Thank you. We'll see you
Yes,
soon.
we will. Dr. Johnson.
Thank you. Commissioners, I'm Dr. Louise Jones Johnson, and I'm the CEO of the Maryland Unified Licensees Beverage Association, and also the Maryland Beverage Association Community Development Corporation. This entire family, from the senior to the wife, to the children, to the employees, to the people who attend Club International, they have always been committed to supporting the community. We have always been there for the club, and the club has always been there for us. Our motto is to stop drunk driving, underage drinking, and underage smoking. And I stand here today, commissioners, in full support. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. So as we understand it, this was filed April 30th, 2015, or it was closed. The Club International was closed April 30th, 2015. Hardship letter was sent September 16, 2015.
That's correct.
Which is timely and tolls the 180 days based on a request. And then what continued from there, I'm certainly sorry for your loss and certainly sorry for the damage that was caused as well. Based on my understanding, well, let me step back. I'm disappointed that this wasn't docketed earlier, and that's no fault of yours. That is not how this current commission handles these hardship requests. Once a letter is put in, it's docketed within 30 to 60 days, and that is our practice. So I apologize for that significant delay. If fellow commissioners have any other questions, we can go from there.
I apologize. Before the questions come, I just have a couple more comments with regards to the rules. Maybe they'll facilitate more questions. Just go forward and go more smoothly. And I do apologize again, Commissioner Moore. Because of the variety of issues that have befallen this unfortunate family at this time, the rules that would apply wouldn't just be the 180-day rule, which would be told by the application for the hardship. It would also be a different rule, which is under the new rules, I believe 122301, which is in regards to a deceased spouse of a licensee. Further, there are exemptions that have been written into the previous rules and that would certainly apply currently to the previous 10506, which I believe is currently 122202, which provides or is shown via case law that bankruptcy courts are allowed to prevent a license from being deemed invalid when there is a bankruptcy because it's an asset of the bankruptcy estate. That's all I have at this time.
Assuming we grant this request, what is the plan beyond in terms of getting open and going forward?
We're going to open back up and basically serve the community. Do what needs to be done.
Work plan, what's the time plan? I mean, what kind of?
Like 6 months, 180 days.
Okay, so if we grant this request under 10504D5, which is not the surviving spouse provision, you would have 180 days plus 31 days, right? Because of your initial request, if I'm correct, it's 31 days plus 180 days once we would, okay?
Yeah, I mean, our concern, I believe, and I'll ask Windsor. Windsor, what is the status of the interior of the location? Is it almost ready to go?
It's almost ready to go. We had to put a new floor in, like tiles and ceiling tiles. That's it.
Beyond that, we, again, may have to go to a zoning commission hearing for the conditional live entertainment. It's always been at the location. Live entertainment's been a part of the Club International since they opened, I believe, 22 years ago. But again, due to a variety of, depending on who you ask on the rules, the live entertainment aspect may have to be re-requested, which could take 2 or 3 months. During that time, we'll finish the floor, finish the ceilings, and we anticipate being back here, if requested, to file a reopen request or to transfer the license from Veronica to a family member, depending on how that works out. The estate is still somewhat ongoing with regards to that. It should be resolved very shortly, though.
Commissioner Moore?
Well, it seems like this establishment and these licensees have just experienced a perfect storm of bad things happening. And we all know that back in April 2015, there was the uprising. And I think this commission has always been aware that some of its licensees experienced great losses as a result of that that uprising, and it seems you're one of them, because you're located in West Baltimore, on West Baltimore Street, and as you're representing, the closure was in large part due to the uprising and the damages that were experienced. So there's that, and that explains the closing on April 30. There was a timely hardship request. It was received September 16. At that point, I think our calculation was that there were 31 days left of the first 180 days after closing. I don't think any of us are aware of any special rules or anything that was done by the city to help businesses that were closed as a result of the uprising. So the days are the 31. But it seems that there it stopped for us from this side. Commissioner Greenfield is correct. We've changed the way that we do things. At no point now will a license or a request for hardship just be allowed to sit. And we are very apologetic to you for that application not being advanced and heard and decided on a prompt and quick basis. You're entitled to that, and all applicants for hardship are, and there's emotion here. I see it in your face, and your face. We're very sorry, but in the time that that your application for hardship sat, you lost your husband and you lost your dad, and we understand, very acutely what that means and how hard that is, and it's just, you just had one bad thing happen after another, and I've been there. I understand it. The law is very clear that once you file the application for a hardship, that stops the running of the time. We're supposed to take these things up very timely. At the time that the application for hardship was filed, there was 31 days. So you've got those 31 days if we all approve it, and then you have the additional 180 days. The law changed since you filed the application, and a lot happened because we just simply didn't act. But it seems that from our side, we can make our decisions, we can do what we need to do in terms of the calculations, but it does seem that the hardship, even no matter how we decide, and we haven't decided yet, that the hardship really is going to continue, and there's big tasks and hurdles ahead of you. And I think Commissioner Greenfield was trying to get some sense of how you're going to handle that, and however we decide, you're going to have a very limited amount of time to go forward. Either we move, you're going to get the time, there's the analysis of the 180-day rule and how that, and the hardship extensions, but then there's a whole nother analysis that happens when a licensee dies and a family member, typically a spouse, takes their place, and there's, I think it's 18 months. Do I have that right?
Correct. Very impressive.
18 months. So those are the analyses that we have to make. The hard work still is with you.
Mr. Jones?
These two lawyers, they express the case to the point where I can understand it. I mean, I'm just walking into this, but with my limited knowledge, I do know that the time that's told, and by, depending on our decision here, we agree, then that tolling period stops, and you have 31 days left on your request for your original hardship. And other factors going to create other numerical situations where you may get 180 days up to 18 months, depending on how the case is presented. And like them, I do apologize because it was the liquor board and the process that we utilized that delayed this case coming before the public. So my apology also, and I trust from the decision we make today, at least it'll give you some sunshine. I mean, just give you some hope that things will be all right, man.
Similarly, I'd encourage you to work with the commission staff to do whatever we can do to help you get within the legislatively required, statutorily required timeframes, because we want you to succeed. We appreciate your investment. We understand and I recognize, I'm getting emotional, how hard this is, and I see people in the audience who also, recognize, the tragedy you've undergone, and for that, I'm certainly sorry. Having said that, I approve the hardship request. Commissioner Moore?
I agree. I join in approving the hardship request.
And I concur also.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Very best of luck.
Always a pleasure. Cass did a good job. I hope I go on record. Cass did a good job on that. Actually, explanation is clear to me. Yeah, but it's only a trick if you make it tricky.
I don't think I have the petition.
You okay?
All right.
Chair?
Oh, we need to go back on the record so she can call the exhibits.
Yes, just back on the record if we could, Bryce. Ms. Russell, would you like to itemize the exhibits?
Yes. Licensee Exhibit 1, petition of support. Licensee Exhibit 2, letter of support from Delegate Oaks. Exhibit number 3 will be order from Orphan Court. Exhibit 4, MD State sales and use tax returns. And exhibit number 5 will be Chapter 13 trustee letter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, call the next case. Umar Chantel and Deborah Dutton, Ganesh Bagwa, Inc., trading as Mount Everest Restaurant, 1011 West 36th Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. An application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Thank you very much, and to those coming before us following this case, thank you for your willingness to allow us to take that case before yours.
For the record, Melvin J. Konensky representing the applicants.
Mr. Kadensky, this is an application to transfer ownership. If the witnesses would raise their hand, and gentleman to my far left will give you the oath, and then if you could speak loudly and clearly with your name afterwards into the microphone, I'd appreciate it.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And
Uma Chantel.
Deborah Dutton.
Sir?
Amar Chantel.
Okay, so are you translating for him? 'Cause
What, me?
only two people identified
Not
themselves. I
voluntarily.
didn't get everybody's name. So you're Uma.
Okay, this my wife.
He's translating for his
Well,
wife.
she's speaking too, so I need her name.
She speak, but she can speak English.
She said Uma Chantel.
You're Uma Chantel.
Yes.
What is your name?
Amar.
Omar?
AMMAR, Amar. Same last name.
So, Mr. Kadinsky, so
It-
Uma's husband, Amar, will translate for her?
Or if necessary.
If
She had a license before. She's a former licensee back in '09 to 2012. This is a transfer of an existing location that's been there for quite some time. Ms. Dutton works there now, Alchemy. You may realize They're going to have the same type of operation. They met with the community. They talked with them last week. They're basically going to have about 4 people who are going to work there. They're going to hire people from the area. They've had their fingerprints taken, and I'll submit this to Ms. Russell. Fingerprints is number 1. And then number 2, they have the alcohol awareness. The hours of operation. It's basically going to be a restaurant that's going to have Indian food along with American food. Ms. Chantel has worked at Mount Everest, which is basically a Indian restaurant. Most of her work has been in the back from preparing food. Ms. Sutton's been working at Alchemy for the past 4.5 years. Working delivering food and alcohol. She's familiar with the rules and regulations of the board. Prior to that, she worked at a couple other places, the Dogwood Cafe, and she also worked on the Spirit. That was before the Spirit ran into the docks down the street. Like I say, they met with the community. They were there, I think, Monday or Tuesday. Everybody seems to be very satisfied with their operation. It's the public needing convenience would be because the license is there. It's not, the uniqueness would be they're having more of an Indian restaurant type motif there. They're not going to cause any undue hardship to the health, safety, welfare of the area. And there's certainly, I think there'll be a nice place for the people to come to use as a restaurant on the first, second floor.
Who's the seller of the license? What am I missing?
Let me see, I have the license here.
Yeah, Debbie and Michael.
Matassa?
Yeah, Michael Matassa.
Michael Matassa, okay.
Is your last name Sutton or Dutton?
Dutton.
Did I say Sutton?
Yeah, I think you said.
It's probably like Willie Sutton, maybe.
Oh, I missed that.
I know you
I miss you, man.
did. And I got the Chantels over here.
Say again?
Good. Sings are waiting in the back.
Yeah, me.
Okay, if we could hear a little bit about Ms. Dutton and Ms. Chantial's, if I have that pronounced, I apologize if I didn't, experience in liquor, alcohol.
You've worked at this location for how many years?
I was at Alchemy for 4.5 years as a general manager. So I did everything day to day, open to close, liquor ordering, inventory, mixing drinks. I did Dogwood for 2 years prior to that. Same basic thing, inventory, ordering, scheduling, payroll, you name it, I did it.
You did it. And you will remain the same?
Yes.
Do the exact same thing?
Yep.
Seeing nods from, okay.
And you went to the community meeting?
We did.
Monday,
I
was
actually
it?
live in the community too. So I live 3 blocks away from the restaurant. So we're members of the HVMA, the Hamden Village Merchants Association. We're also members of the Hamden Community Council.
Great. Okay. Any questions, Commissioner Moore, Commissioner Jones?
Well, it's really probably not relevant, but I want to know why the Spirit ran into the harbor and you were there.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
This was just
You
a
weren't there.
couple of weeks ago that actually happened. I have family who still works there, and yeah, I got the news firsthand.
Okay. Okay.
It was at Henderson's Wharf. I think the wrong Spirit was calling at the time.
Right. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed. So we were given drawings of the establishment and what's going to happen in each location. I simply have no idea what is going to happen on the first floor. The copy did not come through well. So could we get some explanation of what's to happen on the first floor of this establishment?
So the first floor is just like table service. The kitchen's also on the first floor. That is really difficult to make out. So the stairwell to the second floor is right up front as soon as you come through the door on your right-hand side. You can go up to the second floor. There's a couple of tables up front. There's a hand washing sink, a service station, and then the rest of it's seating all the way back to you get to the restrooms and then the kitchen.
Okay.
So it's all seating down there.
Okay.
So you have a washroom and 2 restrooms?
Yes, there's 2 restrooms on the first floor and then an employee restroom on the second floor.
Okay. Okay, those are the questions I have.
Who is Suman Tuladar?
Oh, he's there.
And if you could raise your right hand.
1 second. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this hearing, the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And please spell your name slowly.
Suman Tuladar. Suman Tuladar.
Mr. Tuladar.
D-S-A-R?
H as Henry, A-R.
Mr. Tuladar, I noticed that in one of the exhibits you received alcohol awareness training.
Correct.
What will be your role?
As of now, maybe once a week, Saturday or Sunday, I'll go there and help out with the bar. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for taking the training for the,
Sure.
for, the time you'll be spending there. Any other questions by the commissioners?
I have none.
Based on the evidence before us, based on the experience of the operators, Ms. Dutton, the public need and desire, the existing location, and your engagement with the community, I would vote in favor of the transfer of the license.
I concur.
So do I.
Thank you. Ms. Russell, would you like to itemize the exhibits for the record?
Yes. Applicants, Exhibit 1 would be background check receipts for applicants, and Exhibit 2 would be alcohol awareness certificate.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Just going to keep it.
Michael Sum and Maron Gibriditios, DD Liquor LLC, trading as DD Liquor, 2000 West Landrail Street. This is a Class A and beer, wine, and liquor license and application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Once again, for the record, Melvin J. Kanensky, 19 East Fayette Street, representing the applicants in this case.
Gentlemen, if you could raise your right hand, and listen to the gentleman on the far left.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You could speak clearly in the microphone and state your name.
Start with me again.
My name is Young Min Park.
So that's the one I don't have. Is it Young, U-N-Y?
Y-O-U-N-G. Middle name is M-E-E-N. Last name is P-A-R-K.
Michael Sium, S-I-U-M.
Okay.
Meron Gabratatios.
This is a transfer of, actually, it's a very small store, very small liquor store. It's about 1,000 square feet. Mr. Park is the current licensee. He has been assisting the two gentlemen who want to buy the store, and they were been looking to buy a liquor store for a while, and I think they made the right choice when they decided to buy a smaller store, trying to learn the business more than buying a big liquor store and getting overwhelmed. Mr. Park has set them up and he attends regularly the community meetings, and he's going to set up the following meeting with Miss Barbara, who is the association there, for them to meet the people in the community. Both of the applicants in this case have taken the alcohol awareness course, and I have their certificates, which I'll submit as one exhibit. They also have been fingerprinted, and I'll submit that as a separate package. And it being a small store, from the point of view that's been there for quite some time, just the two individuals are going to wind up running the place, and won't be pose any type of detriment to to the neighborhood. And in fact, Mr. Park has been going to all the community meetings, and there's a place where people that come by. It's a small location. The two individuals that are here don't really have a lot of experience in the alcoholic beverage business because they're just starting out. They were basically driving cabs in the cab business, but they have reviewed the rules and regulations of the board. They're working with Mr. Park to learn the customers and to learn the client base and how everything else works. And this will be their first ownership in a business on their own, other than being in the cab business. The particular location has not been a problem location with regard to, as far as I know, and like I said, Mr. Park being familiar with the association and neighbors is going to be a good bridge for them to be in business.
Gentlemen, it appears that Mr. Park is a good role model, working with the community and no violations that we have recorded. So we thank you for that and encourage you to continue to work with him. Let me ask you just a couple of questions for things that we often see here in terms of violations so that you can flag them and avoid them. Carding individuals, making sure they're of age. Absolutely critical. And what will you do to make sure that that is a part of your practice?
Well, we have to ask the license when they are looking after like over 4 years.
Okay. And in terms of purchasing the liquor, with whom do you purchase?
We purchase them from the wholesale.
Ah, very good. Very good. Now, will you two gentlemen be working there solely? Will you be the only two there?
Yes, and my wife too. She's have a liquor experience. She's working for 2 years in a business.
Okay,
and then
so
she's working. So that's yeah.
Terrific, terrific. Any questions from the commissioners?
Where has your wife worked?
She is working in a liquor store in PG County.
Well, that doesn't translate to Baltimore.
I mean, she's working. She have an experience with.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
Well, actually, people
Just
believe that PG
kidding.
Montgomery County is like another state with Fairfax and that they.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but okay. So, what is your wife's name?
Sanai Gabriel Johannes.
Sanai.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you want to own a liquor store?
Well, that's the big step for us. I mean, I working with the cab business, and then it's one step up for us.
Okay. And have you gotten to know anyone in the neighborhood, in the community? Has Mr. Park helped you to get to know the neighbors and those that are around?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
And was there some exchange that I should know about?
Mr. Park, do you have anything to say?
Do you have anything to add? Okay.
We're
All
trying
right.
to interpret, between.
Right. Right. Okay. Those are all the questions I have.
Commissioner Jones?
Cab driver, long hours. So how do you plan to divide that time working in the store versus still driving cabs?
No, I just quit now with the.
Oh, is that
with-
correct?
yes, sir. Yes. That's one big step for
Laid
us.
everything on the line for this
Yeah.
business. Hope you all the luck in the world. And, be vigilant. I mean, you invest in so much, your time, you gave up a job, so I know you want to make this work. So it's very important that you be attentive to those individuals who walk in your store, because the one you do a favor for, that's exactly the same one that's going to take you down, because it might be an undercover officer from the police department. So be mindful.
Your wife is nodding, yeah.
Yeah. And I've never seen a bigger smile when you said that you quit the cab business. She was thrilled. I think
They
she
might
was,
be Ubered out.
I was afraid to ask whether Uber has sort of helped you make the decision, but of course, yeah. Okay.
well, if there's nothing further, I would approve the transfer of this ownership to the existing store, no violations, good existing licensee who is working with you to do all the right things, work with the community, remain vigilant, as Commissioner Jones says, and clearly, for those reasons, I would support transfer of license.
And I agree.
Thank you so much.
I agree also.
Ms. Russell, exhibits.
Yes, applicants exhibit 1, awareness certificate, exhibit 2, background check receipt for applicants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody been to the Club International? Used to have people would go there Saturday mornings, 300-400 people line up 6 o'clock in the morning to go in.
Why?
That just was a place where people
Place
went.
to go.
And you may not, or you may not know this, but Nate knows it. Windsor Senior was called the Cooter. Junior is the Weenie. Don't ask me why. That's how you used to know when you call from the Cooter and the Weenie.
The board is in recess until October the 13th, 11 a.m. Thank you.
This is fun.
Not a Friday, is it?
Easy day.
No, it's a Thursday.
Main folks come in here telling us how bad we are.
This is the most